Hello, my freaky darlings. Hello, Jessamine. Volume knob isn't doing anything. Weird. I think we can basically just jump right into the game. So, pull the game up. So last time, we finished in, the town with the author and all that. We basically did 2 chapters there. And then at the very end, we learned that Shen was there specifically to learn something related to a past case. And he was about to explain that past case to Afu. And that's where we left off. Helps if I unmute you guys. So this is a flashback. Shen is explaining what he's looking into to a Fu. He said that he got a message that something had happened to his brother, and his brother was living in London. So he came to London.
Hello, may I ask if this is Officer Jones?
Oh, well, I don't have to repeat this because we're in London. So this is all gonna be in English, this part.
Ye are?
I am John Shen, brother of Brian Shen.
Okay, so Jungping's English name is John. Fair enough.
My close friend Brian Shen's younger brother, John Shen, is about to arrive in London. Please guide him to inspect Brian's death scene and facilitate his access to the case files. Joseph Iscariot Bell.
Oof.
Since it's Joseph's request, I'll surely coordinate with you.
No, it's nice of you to coordinate with me.
I'm Cody Jones, investigating your brother's case. Just call me Jones.
Thank you for your help.
Speaking of which, your brother's suicide scene looks rather eerie.
Interesting. They didn't write the word suicide, they just wrote brother's scene.
Young one, you sure you want to step in?
I'm sure.
All right, after checking the scene, come away to the office. We'll sort out some paperwork. Say, we can wrap up the case then.
You guys again? How many times you come without invite? Is police station 2 free? Or whole London only has case in my place?
Oh dear.
Mrs. Cheng, sorry for not giving you a heads up today.
Brought an important person, huh? Move aside.
I love her. Too bad Pocket Cow's missing. She would love Mrs. Cheng. She's already so sassy. Okay. I'll say these parts. Whoa! My volume button suddenly started. I might have to see if I can adjust the background noises a bit and the voices a little bit louder. I don't know if anyone else is finding that. Look, look. They really do look alike, these two brothers. The younger brother is even more handsome than the elder brother.
这而已。哥哥之前寄给我的书信中，经常提起您对他的照顾。
Auntie Cheng, in the letters my brother sent me before, he often mentioned your care for him.
你哥是个好男儿，志向远大，才华横溢。没想到发生了这样的事。
Good man, your brother. Ambitious and talented. Bad luck such things happen.
Mrs. Cheng, can we first?
Take off shoes first. Don't dirty my carpet. Keep windows shut. Bad energy if open. Every time you come, my house a mess. My medicine on stove. Knock it over. See what happens.
Nay, bother, dinna fash yourself.
Didn't fast yourself.
We didn't mean to intrude over much. Theoretically speaking, this should be.
Last trip? That's not what the signs say. You foreigners, you will have more visits. All right. Stick close to your esteemed guest.
Esteemed guest?
Without him, you break my vase today. Compensate me. It's cloisonné. Expensive.
Vase?
Okay. This background art is beautiful. The proportions are a little funky. What is happening? Look at the size of this side table. Woof. Woo! Good
See,
catch, Shen.
I told you.
这屋是他的工作室，命案就发生在这里。
This room is the studio. The murder happened right here.
他经常把自己锁在屋里面搞研究，我也不懂他在研究些什么。
He often locked himself inside, researching. I don't understand what he is researching either.
有劳郑阿姨了。
Thank you, Auntie Cheng, for your help.
小伙子，你慢慢看啊。
Young man, take your time to look around.
You walk careful. Don't break my things again.
Poor Jones.
Aye, I really hope this is the last time I'm stepping in here.
Officer Jones, could you please tell me about the situation at the time?
Of course. That afternoon at 2:05, we got a telegraph saying there's been a murder in this room.
A murder. There's been a murder in this room. Oh, let me.
We went upstairs to check. Found the door locked from the inside. Had to break the lock open. Once inside, we saw the victim lying in a rather eerie pose on the chair. Dagger plunged into his chest.
It's Chinese music.
His expression was awfully strange, a lot of pain, but half his face seems to be smiling.
What kind of dagger is it? Is there anything special about it?
Nothing remarkable in appearance, light in weight, but razor sharp.
What is the current direction of the police investigation? Have you identified any suspects yet?
I thought Joseph had already filled you in on this. Well, Mr. Shen, based on the evidence gathered so far, the police have come to the conclusion Your brother took his own life.
Suicide? Impossible. My brother would never kill himself.
The room was sealed off at the time of the incident. All door and windows were locked from inside. The only key was in your brother's own hand.
For some reason, there's some kind of fluff in my nose. Where could that be, Bean? I really have to get this fluff out of my nose. One sec. Yeah, you. Yeah, you, sir. There's a big fluff in my nose. I'd love to say I don't know how that happens, except I constantly smell. He's doing that thing where he wants tummy pets.
Not just that, but the weapon only had his own fingerprints on it as well. Again, it's hard to accept. My condolences.
There's a wooden door with a round lock. The lock is already damaged. When we got here, the doorknob was locked for the inside. We had to force the door open. Whew. That was like 6 accents I just did. And none of them were correct. On the top shelf, there are certificates and medals that my brother has received. In the middle, there are some pharmaceutical theory books and laboratory equipment. On the bottom shelf, there are several wax cylinder records, including Autumn in the Han Palace. Get itchy toes, little boy? A lab bench that is filled with bottles and containers. Oh. There's a closer look one. This bottle contains strychnine? We found out how to say that and last time and I don't remember. Officer Jones, do you know if there is strychnine in my brother's room? Oh. Dinny Fash, we have certainly looked into this angle. Your brother's autopsy and toxicology tests were done by Joseph, a forensic expert. Even though the signs on the body looked like citrine poisoning, the tests came out negative. What about other toxins? I, of course. all of them came back negative. Our capabilities are limited. Some new drugs may not be detected. What is the current police speculations about the cause of my brother's body contortion? Just a moment. Let me check my notebook. It has Joseph's theory. Oh, found it. We found a recently healed wound on the victim's foot. If there is rust contamination on the wound, or if he was exposed to germs during experiments, there's a possibility of tinnitus infection. Tetanus infection, tinnitus. His ears were ringing so bad. If he got a fright or felt intense pain, it may have caused back spasms, or if there's stimulation causing back nerve paralysis, it could lead to body contortions. In summary, Joseph thinks there are many possible causes for body contortion. As for the toxology test results, they were all negative. And a dismantled kerosene lamp on the table. Several long cotton threads soaked in the kerosene bottle. A small brush inside. A stack of oiled paper on the table. Each sheet is large and thin. Various chemicals and reagents placed on the lab bench. Among them, there are aspirin, procaine, and trichloromethane. Test tubes. What is trichloromethane? We should look that one up. Trichloromethane. Trichloromethane. Volatile, non-flammable. It is primarily used as an industrial degreaser. He's got some WD-40. Test tubes contain powdered medicines such as Sephora flascans and Angelica sinensis. Okie dokie. There's a lot of stuff in here. Alright. What was originally inside this white circle? A roll of Morse code paper strip, which we took as evidence. So, you found it on the ground? That's right. I suspect it fell from the Morse code telegraph machine. Does it have any content on it? It's all telegrams from Mr. Bell, Joseph's father. We've checked the contents, discussing the development of a certain drug. Nothing suspicious. Nothing suspicious. Nothing. Is nothing suspicious. Windows can only be opened from the inside. Below is the busy Plymouth Street with fashion stores, jewelry shops, and furniture stores. Not far away are the iconic Palace of Westminster and the Royal Opera House. Through the window, the 3-story Savoy restaurant across seems very busy. Savoy? Where's a Savoy restaurant? Never heard of that. There's a small stool placed between the desk and the candle arrangement. The stool is very small, with a height less than 20 centimeters. Not much good as a boost. Seven candles are arranged on the ground in the shape of the Big Dipper. Each candle is securely fixed to the floor with wax by someone. Looks some kind of mysterious Eastern ritual. The Big Dipper.
郑平，你还能找到北斗七星吗？
Zhengping, can you still find the Big Dipper?
就在那里。
Right there!
而顺着勺口的方向看去，
And, looking in the direction of the spoon's handle,
就能找到北极星。
you can find the North Star!
北极星是天空中唯一不动的星，它会一直待在北天际。
The North Star is the only star that remains fixed at the North Celestial Pole.
因此，出远门的人会用它来指引方向。
Therefore, travelers use it as a guide for direction when they are far away from home.
无论离家多远，只要找到北极星，就能找到回家的方向。
Find the North Star anywhere. It guides you back home from afar. Since the candles are arranged in the shape of Big Dipper, the position of Polaris is near the desk. Is there anything special about the desk? I didn't find anything special on the desk either. If I had to say, there was some marks on the candles instead. Tell me quickly. See the side of this candle? There's a shallow scratch. The Yangtze also has one. Interestingly, these two scratches are on the same horizontal plane. Indeed, they are quite suspicious. Could they be traces left behind by the murderer? Possibility of this being a case of homicide is very, very low. Currently, no evidence links candles to the murder case. This is the telegraph machine on the table. There are traces of it being used that day. The Morse code paper reel we found should be fitted in the horizontal area on its tap. Other than that, no other abnormalities were found on the machine. Is this photo of my brother and his friends? They are your brother's classmates. I heard Joseph took the photo. The one in the middle is Stone Wu. He knew your brother from afore coming to UK. Seems I have met him when I was a child. The one on the right is Toby Cheng. He's your brother's classmate at University of London. Several books on the desk, including Principles of Chemistry, The Interpretation of Dreams. It seems these are books that Brian often read. Each book's spine has some ink stains. Their arrangement seems to have a certain pattern. Officer Jones, may I organize these books? Aye, the police investigation is done, and they're now your property. How do I... Go over here, please. I guess it only wants me to switch them. Alright, well... Indeed, the instincts on the book spread diagonally. These instincts indeed appear to be flicked from a fountain pen. There is a break in the middle of the stain, as if one book is missing. Clearly, another book in the middle has been taken. Because if there was an obstruction, there would be an actual gap where it was just, yeah. Could you please tell me if the police took a book with ink stains on its spine from the scene? Nah. Could it be that the killer took the book? Seems difficult to confirm if the book was missing then, or if it had been gone a while. Mr. Shen, you need to trust the police. Then I assume there's a killer on your... When we entered the scene, the phonograph was still playing. It stopped after a short while. Did it stop because the wax cylinder ran out? Has about 15 minutes of playing? I personally verified this matter. There's a cafe downstairs in this building, just any floor below. Staff reported continuous opera music from this room. 1:40 to 2:30 p.m. that day. Did they hear any other sounds? Nope. Alright. When police arrived at the scene, the phonograph was playing the Peking Opera 7-Star Lamp. How many stars are in the Big Dipper? I don't want to do it right now. How much of this do you think this plays? Like, we're not going to for this stream, obviously. But do you think we would be able to sit here and listen to 50 minutes of Peking opera? Phonograph is playing Peking Opera 7-Star Lamp. 7-Star Lamp? What is it about? It's about Zhu Lang, who failed to borrow 10 years of lifespan from heaven 1,790 years ago. So, that's how it is. look it up myself. How many stars in Big Dipper? The Big Dipper is made up of 7 stars. I'm sure that's just a coincidence. A beam of light shines through the skylight directly onto the chair where the murder occurred. What's this? Skylight window frame shows scorch marks. The marks appear to be fresh. Oh, indeed. Those are scorch marks. Even though it's unclear what caused them, this is unrelated to the case. How can you tell? The skylight is very high. Without a ladder, there's no way one can reach it. And a hell of a ladder indeed. Mrs. Cheng's house doesn't have that. Besides, we've inspected the skylight. It's locked from the inside of the house. Thick dust on the glass, no signs of being touched or tampered with. Say, it's highly probable that those scorch marks were made afore the incident. I think it's clear that this is your brother's studio. The marks on the window is likely caused by experiments. Officer Jones, was my brother sitting in this chair at the time of death? Strictly speaking, he was not sitting in the chair, but leaning on it in a very peculiar posture. His head and lower limbs were bent downward, while his body arches up like a bow. How could this be? We've looked into all sorts, but there is no definitive answer. Nay ruling out he got in a massive fright or pain reaction at the moment of passing. Brian. Mr. Shen? Mr. Shen, you're alright, pal? You look as if you've just come back from the depths of hell. Can I take a closer look around here? Please go ahead. So, we've got flammable, broken apart kerosene lamp. It seems like, and like strings on the, it seems like the knife was hung by a rope. Or by like a thread that was highly flammable, and set on fire so that the rope like burned away and it scorched the thing. But unfortunately, that sounds like a complicated suicide. Like, how is he not going to notice there's a rope, there's a knife, and a big old on fire rope above him? The question is, how do they think it's a suicide? I guess they thought that he stabbed himself, and then, yeah, I guess. An unburnt scrap of paper, seemingly made out of oiled paper. Seems that there was something written on it, but it's impossible to recognize it. An asbestos mesh with burn marks on it. The corners of the asbestos mesh is tied with wire. The middle has been replaced with wax? Might have been used for experiments, as asbestos mesh is a common tool in labs. Drops of blood on the floor as well as on the edges of the chair, which have already coagulated. There were no bloodstains in the room except near the chair. Officer, how are the bloodstains distributed on my brother's clothes at the time? Murder a wee bit of bloodstains on the clothing near the dagger, but aside from that, there was nae clear flow direction, nae to the left, right, up, or doon. Didn't bleed very much for a man stabbed. Is this shape a key? Aye, we took as evidence in our investigation. This is the sole key to the room. We discovered it gripped in Brian's left hand. There were only your brother's fingerprints on the key. There are many scattered paper ashes around the chair. Not just around the chair. There are quite a few paper ashes on your brother's body. I heard in the East you burn paper during ancestral worship ceremonies? Do you reckon this has any connection to your brother's passing? Ancestral worship ceremonies. Indeed, Mrs. Chang mentioned that August 15th, according to your calendar, is a special holiday. That day was the Ghost Festival. And also the anniversary of my father's death. So you're suggesting on that day your brother was performing an ancestral worship for your father? It's not possible. Our relationship with our father was not good. We have never done such a thing before. Brian, what exactly happened? I won't let you die like this without knowing the truth. I will definitely find the murderer and bring them to justice. Officer Jones, if my body was contorted when he was killed, how was he leaning on the chair? Let me tell you a wee sketch for you. Here's how... Imagine going... I know that Jones is not an artist. It's okay that this is like a stick figure or whatever. Sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. But imagine doodling this guy's dead brother and giving him goofy little... Like, let me kiss. Here's how he and the chair were set up at that moment. The victim's body and the chair found in fine equilibrium, a delicate balance. Not sure if it was a coincidence. Deep claw marks on the chair with slight traces of blood on them while he was gripping the chair. Brian, what exactly did you experience? I didn't see those at first. Seems to be good so far. Officer Jones, can I ask you a few more questions? Aye, as long as it helps to solve the case swiftly. Officer Jones, you mentioned earlier that someone filed a report. May I ask who the reporter is? It came as an anonymous telegram. Had only one sentence. A homicide occurred at 79 Pridley Street. It does sound somewhat illogical. Since this room is locked and it's suicide, how could anyone know a homicide occurred here? I must admit, you got a sharp mind, but... See, the curtain on the window was nae closed at the time. It's likely someone from the opposite building saw the body through the window. Have the police questioned the residents of the building opposite? Aye, anything you can think of, we already have considered. Just gone to tell that building to look for eyewitnesses. Took up my entire week. Just going to the building to look for witnesses. Got it. It's hard to identify potential witnesses with a busy restaurant on the 3rd floor. Officer Jones. Yep. Officer Jones, you and Joseph were both at the Kingston division, right? Joseph was my superior just half a month ago. However, 12 weeks ago, he got transfer order and was set to be moved to Shanghai. Was Joseph in charge of my brother's case before? Aye, that's correct. But no, the case is in the hands of the new detective sergeant. The new sergeant is not an easy person to deal with. When we gang to the police station later, you'll witness it yourself. Officer Jones, may I ask if the police have identified any suspects? Mr. Shen, as I mentioned before, your brother's death was a suicide, so there are no suspects. Even if it is determined to be a suicide, don't we need to rule out the possibility of homicide? Aye, of course. We have looked into all the suspicious individuals. Mrs. Chang, the only person in the flat that day. Stone Wu, your brother's classmate, had a good relationship with him, but a big row before. Toby Chang, or I don't know how to pronounce this differently from Chang. I might have to look it up. Your brother's classmate had a competitive relationship with him. The sender of the telegram, Mr. Bell, your brother's research project sponsor. We interrogate all these individuals have alibis for the time of the incident. All have alibis. I completely understand your desire to uncover the truth. But the truth is, your brother committed suicide. Yeesh. Let me out of here before I butcher my attempt at reading those words anymore. Auntie Chang, do you want to know about my personal matters, about your brother's matters, or about the case? You'd like to ask how long I've been in London? Exactly. I am from Techu Canton. I've been here for 13 years. The fog in London, toxic. You can see nothing, smell unpleasantly. Lungs corrupted for living here. No one cares about this terrible environment. Auntie Chang, the staircase is indeed... My lungs are still alright. The medicine inside is nothing special. They are all tonic herbs. Astragalus, ginseng, and goji berries. Auntie Chang, may I ask, your brother is polite, knowledgeable, and our 5 elements are a good match. According to the sexagenary cycle, I was born on Genjin Day, and your brother on a Jihai Day. Genjin belongs to metal, Jihai belongs to earth. Earth generates metal. The yin and yang are balanced, mutually generating and thriving. If he rents this house from me, both he and I should benefit. Alas, his year predicts misfortune and a short life. Don't move. Your eyes are bright, lively. Your facial features are well proportioned. Sign of long life. Listen to my advice. Don't hold on to gains and losses. Only trap you in inner demons. Do you want to know about my personal matters? Auntie Chang, may I ask, what happened that day? That day I was sitting at the entrance. Brian came back at noon and greeted me. Also, I saw several people following him like ghosts. After your brother came back, they stood opposite side of the street, staring here. Keep an eye on him! Do you know that my brother... It seems like he also noticed. His left facial muscle twitching a bit. Expression looks very peculiar, very rigid. At that time, it was approximately around 1 o'clock. I was watching him go upstairs and lock himself inside. He didn't come out again. Before the police arrived, I stayed at the entrance the whole time. No one else went in. Auntie Cheng, regarding this matter, what do you... I told the police, but they didn't believe me. They even said it was my mistake. The public security here, bad. That's it for now. Wooden miscellaneous cabinet. Inside there are various uncommonly used items piled up. There's a statue of Kuan Yu placed as an offering on the ancestral altar. In front of the statue is a censer with 3 burning incense sticks. Medicine is being brewed on the stove. The hallway is filled with a strong herbal smell. The smell is unfamiliar. It doesn't resemble common Chinese herbal medicine. These are Brian's coat and hat. I didn't find any suspicious clues. Okay, this is Brian's room. I thought we were going into her room, and I was like, what? Why? The bookcase in the bedroom is filled with detective novels. There are also Murders in the Rue Morgue, The Woman in White, The Moonstone, a whole collection of the Sherlock Holmes series. The Return, a book gifted by Joseph. There's a dedication he left on the title page. Brian, welcome back to the Conan Doyle Book Club. Enjoy the return. Aw. I remember Brian's dream. To become a detective. This is...
爹爹，孔明灯真的能实现愿望吗？
Dad, can a lantern really make wishes come true?
当然可以。孔明灯是月亮为了听到人间心愿而降下的。
Of course it can. The sky lantern is a messenger to the moon for listening to wishes.
真的吗？月亮会听到我们的心愿？
Really? Does the moon listen to our wishes?
会的。你把心愿写在灯上放飞，月亮就知道了。
Yes. Write wishes on your lantern, release it into the sky. The moon becomes aware.
那我要成为像徐霞客那样的旅行家。
Then I want to become a great traveler.
哥哥，你的愿望是什么呢？
Brother, what is your wish?
我的愿望是成为一名侦探。
It's interesting because we became a detective. My wish is to become a detective.
哥哥，什么是侦探呀？
Brother, what is a detective?
侦探也像旅行家一样四处冒险。
Detectives also go on adventures, like travelers do.
但他们总能发现别人注意不到的细节。
But they always manage to notice the details others overlook.
这么厉害！那我想当侦探旅行家。
That sounds impressive. Then I want to become a detective traveler.
好啊，我相信一定会实现的。
That's great. I believe it'll definitely come true.
孔明灯飞进来了，爹爹，快拍照！
The sky lantern is flying. Dad, hurry, take the photo. This was taken before my father. This photo has been with my brother all along. This photo. This is probably the only family photo. If it weren't for our father, the family wouldn't have fallen apart. Now, even you have left. Poor Shen. This is my brother's diary. The previous pages have been torn off. Only one page remains. This is a dead end. Everything is meaningless. Utterly meaningless. Oh, I guess I'm done looking. Guess there was
I have
nothing in the
already
bed.
checked everything. Please take me to the police station to take a look at the case files.
Aye, bro. We're off then. At the station, you'll need to sign a few papers for me.
二位，我刚接到汉阳铁厂会办李毅的电报，想拜托你们帮个忙。
Alright, we're back in our present day. Gentlemen, I just received a telegram from Edgar Lee at Hanyang Iron Works and need your help.
那李毅是我多年好友，
He is a longtime friend of mine.
他们铁厂今晨发生了一桩极为诡异的案件。
This morning, an extremely mysterious incident occurred at their ironworks.
汉阳，
Hanyang?
汉阳铁厂，
Hanyang Ironworks?
我早就想去汉阳铁厂看看了。
I've been wanting to visit Hanyang Ironworks.
先生，我们接下这桩委托吧，反正也顺路。
Shen, let's take on this commission. It's on our way anyway.
好，
Okay,
那我们即刻出发。
let's leave immediately. Need a boot. Iron and steel, the backbone of industry.
吴越春秋中有对干将莫邪炼钢法门的记载。
In the history of Wu and Yu, there are records of Jiang, Zhang, and Mo Ye's secret to steelmaking.
夫神木之化，虚人而成。
The transformation of spirit and matter requires human sacrifice.
我本以为那只是古老的传说，
I once believed that was only an ancient legend.
但它却在今时重演了。
Yet, history chose to repeat itself once more. The Haunted Furnace.
先生快看，前面就是汉阳铁厂，
Look, Sheng!
咱们赶紧进去吧。
Hangwon Steel Industries is up ahead. Let's hurry. Damn. So the only problem with making my thumbnails is I don't actually know what's coming. So, like, I can't put stuff... Maybe I should just make a live thumbnail for this game and then make the thumbnails after. Maybe that would make more sense. Because then I could put this background instead of, you know, the town that we were in.
二位就是船长引荐的侦探吧？
Alright, Department Administrator. You two gentlemen must be the detectives Shipmaster Lo recommended.
我是汉阳铁厂会办李毅。
I am Li Yi, the deputy administrator of the Hangyang Iron Works.
在下沈正平，这是我的助手阿福。
I am Sheng Chengping. This is my assistant Afu.
烦劳大人，说下这起事件的经过。
Please, tell me the course of events of this incident, Your Honor.
今晨，平炉车间的钉匠木不慎坠入钢水包中，引发了爆炸。
Yeah, we're fully in stuff I don't know anything about what's in this game yet. Now. This morning, Formenting accidentally fell into the ladle and caused an explosion.
表面听起来就是一起意外事故，是有什么问题吗？
Sounds like an accident? What was wrong? Was something wrong?
这钉匠木坠入钢水包之时，有2位工人目睹了经过。
When Formenting fell into the ladle, 2 workers witnessed the entire process.
他们都说钉匠木是凭空出现在平炉2层的。
They both claimed that Formenting appeared out of thin air at the second floor furnace area.
凭空出现。
Appeared out of thin air.
正是，没人看到他上去，但眨眼的功夫他就站在那儿了。
That's right. No one saw him go up, but in the blink of an eye, he was just standing there.
也因如此，工人间开始流传些怪力乱神之说，弄得人心惶惶。
Cause a mass panic, because rumors of ghosts are beginning to spread among the workers.
此事确实颇为蹊跷。
That is indeed particularly odd.
眼下消息已隐有外传，再拖一日，恐又会生出许多事端。
The situation is getting out of control. Any more delay could cause more troubles to arise.
还望沈先生于今日之内查明情况，以安定人心，恢复生产。
I hope you can uncover the truth today, so that we can calm the workers and resume production.
放心交给我们吧，会办大人，我家先生可是专业的。
Don't worry and leave it to us, Mr. Deputy Administrator. Shen is a professional.
那就有劳2位了，本办还有事在身，失陪了。
Thank you for your troubles. I still have matters to attend to, so if you please excuse me.
啊？哎，我还没来得及问具体是什么流言呢。
Huh? I didn't get to ask him what the exact rumors were yet.
我们先去事故现场看看吧。
We should go to the site of the incident first and take a look. Molten steel is flowing from the outlet. What a grand sight! Afu is very excited. Oh. Hold on, start over. What did you say? Sir? Sir? Can I reconfigure it? Tell me again. I heard Formenting was all freaking when he jumped. Like he was possessed or something. Just gives me chills. 2 of us should run away while we can. That's not what you said the first time, but fine. The deputy administrator claims the worker saw Ting appear suddenly on the 2nd floor. Then, in front of witnesses, he fell from the 2nd floor furnace into the ladle. The deputy administrator declared... Okay. Auntie? Auntie Vu? Auntie! You're here as well! The official said something terrible happened here and asked me to come examine the body. How did you get here before us? We left that town before you. Maybe she came here directly and we had to, like, redirect. I rushed over here. The second I arrived, I haven't even had time to eat lunch yet. But, Auntie, can you still examine the body after it fell into a furnace? What's there to examine? He's all ashes now. I don't have any godlike ability to help me distinguish a corpse from a slag. Yeah, even if Auntie was the reincarnation of Song Si, it's still impossible. At least you get the point, unlike them. So it seems like you two are overseeing this matter as well. That is correct. Auntie Vu, do you have any information on the case? The deceased is called Ting Taifeng. He was 45 years old and the foreman of the factory floor. There are lots of rumors about the cause of his incident, but most of them can't be taken seriously. Auntie, have you heard the rumors too? Come on, tell me! You little rascal. Why are you always so interested in chasing shadows? Without an autopsy, it'll be even more difficult to uncover the truth. You're right, Auntie. You fell from the second floor, so you should go there. No need to waste your time here. Auntie Vu, is the corpse mixed with the slag? Still thinking about an autopsy? If you could separate them, I'll examine the body for you. It seems we will not be able to obtain any clues from the corpse this time. Why is this area blocked off by ropes? Someone is protecting the scene by using ropes as a boundary line. Such a careful and professional arrangement must have been the work of Auntie Vu. Stop licking my boots! It was already like this when I got here. Huh? Who could it have been? This is ladle number 2. The ladle that the foreman fell into. The ladles are 2 meters tall and can hold up to 30 tons of molten steel at a time. Shen, we'll reach the site of the incident when we go up from here. Hopefully all of the crucial evidence will still be there. I knew something was wrong with Foreman Ting. You play with fire, you get burned. Afu, what is the matter? Look, there are scorch marks all over the stairs. The explosion was caused by the incident. Even the stairs were affected. The splash range of the explosion must have been quite wide. This means that no one could approach these stairs for quite a while, even after the explosion. Good observation, Afu. Afu, is this lever used to open the molten steel outlet? That's right. This is a very thoughtful design. How is that so? Look, this lever is really long. You have to stand here to open the outlet shutter. It is designed in this way to prevent the workers from getting burned. That's right! The molten steel in the furnace can reach a temperature of staggering 1600 Celsius. Once the shutter is open, the temperature close by rises rapidly. It's much safer to open the furnace from such a distance. This is where Foreman Ting's falling incident took place. You are able to see the workers on the opposite metal casting area from here. You can also see the ladle directly below. It's ginormous, like a well. When the incident happened, the well was filled with red-hot molten steel. Sure looks like the entrance to hell. No, this is the entrance leading to the truth. Shen, let's begin investigating. Shen, there's some grayish-white powder underneath the railing. Upon closer examination, these are small particles that have a lingering, pungent smell. Afu, do you know what it is?
Huh?
I can't think of anything right now, but this must be a residue of something that was burned. Shen, this is the molten steel basin. Once the shutter is open, molten steel of 1600 Celsius flows through here and into the ladle. When that happens, the temperature close by will be extremely hot. A section of the railing next to the molten steel outlet is missing. You're right! Judging from the structure, there should be a movable crossbar here. This design makes it more convenient to clean the molten steel outlet. But where did the crossbar go? Could it be that it fell into the ladle? This detail is quite suspicious. This is the ladle that Foreman Tang fell into. It's now empty. Where did this molten steel go? Perhaps the workers may know something about this. What is the red marking on that? I guess it's nothing, because it won't let me circle it. Oops. Although there are still scorch marks on the molten steel outlet shutter, it's still intact. It seems like a furnace explosion accident didn't occur at this time. Oops, damn it. No! There are scorch marks all over the railings. Foreman Tang's fall caused an explosion. Afu, although quite a few people have mentioned the sound of an explosion on site, could it be possible that the explosion occurred first, then Tang fell into the molten steel after? The human body contains a lot of water. When water meets molten steel, it will vaporize and its volume will expand 1,000 times. So if a person were to fall into molten steel, it's bound to cause an explosion. Then if the explosion occurred first and Ting fell after, there would have been 2 explosions. However, the workers only saw 1 explosion. It must have been caused by Ting's fall. 100% correct. Afu, are these big crane hooks used to transport the ladle? Yep, these are the crane hooks of the bridge crane. It can lift up to 50 tons of load. Whew, Shen, be careful of the molten steel up ahead. Unable to get closer due to the heat. Shen, the railings on both sides of the outlet are movable. It has the same design as outlet 2. Shen, this is the charging area behind the furnaces. Yeah? Do you think so? The workers here should probably know something, right? I finally get to see an autoloader with my own eyes! So this is what the structure of a crown block is like. If we go further, would we be able to go around to the left side of Furnace 1? Molten steel is coming from there, and it's scalding hot. We better not go over there. Mister, I am Shang Chongping. I was entrusted to investigate Foreman Ting's falling incident. Could I have a moment of your time? Ugh, I don't like these headphones. My other ones aren't working. This side is broken, so it doesn't sit properly, so it crushes the outside of my ear. Don't call me mister, I ain't used to that. I'm just a furnace charger. The name's Li Shanghai. You can call me Old Li. Ask all you want, gives me time to rest a bit. Miss Old Li, what are you mainly responsible for? I am responsible for charging the furnace. I'm also in charge of opening and closing the outlet. Does charging the furnace mean to add fuel to the furnace? Not fuel, but bulk materials. If you want the steel to be of high purity, you need to add bulk material in every now and then. Are there any other workers on the second floor platform? There are a few helpers, but last night was just a trial production. I didn't ask them to come. It takes 4 hours to purify steel in a furnace, so it's enough for me to handle alone. You don't look so well, Old Li. Haven't you rested? I just pulled an all-liner. I was going to rest today, but then the incident happened. Those punks don't have the guts to work, so they're just grabbing onto me and draining me dry. Once Shen gets to the bottom of this, you'll be able to take a break. Take a break? It's just like looking forward to seeing the moon on New Year's Eve. Don't count on it. Ask all you want. Yep, same. What kind of person was Foreman Ting? He's a stubborn, one-track-minded guy who's not so popular. He's obsessed with steel technology that he'd even forget to pay our wages. Ever since he started worshipping the gods, he became less human. He even provoked...
Huh?
Provoked what? Never mind. There's no point in talking about this since he's already dead. I mean, I would like to... Yeah, I'm gonna... Old Li, please tell us more about the Foreman worshipping gods. We need to have a comprehensive understanding of him. You also think his death is related to that statue? Statue? What statue? He must have been possessed to provoke that sort of thing. They all say it's easy to invite a god, but hard to send one away. If you neglect them, you could be possessed by an evil spirit, or worse, you may get killed.
Huh?
Old Li, you still haven't told us what Foreman Tang was worshipping, though. No, I just can't. It's unspeakable. I advise you both to stay far away from the shrine in the office. Alright. Were you working here when the incident occurred? Mm-hmm. I've been busy working here since last night. After pulling an all-lighter, the molten steel in furnace number 1 was finally ready. Once the ladle was filled, I checked the quality of the molten steel and closed outlet number 1. After that, I came back, started out autoloader, and started prepping for the next batch. I was shoving materials into furnace number 1, and suddenly I heard a boom. I saw furnace number 2 emitting smoke. The molten steel splashed everywhere. The railings were on fire. I thought it was a furnace explosion, but it wasn't. Someone opened the outlet in advance. How can you be sure that someone else had opened it? The lever was in the buckle, so someone must have done it. Is it possible that you opened it yourself and then forgot about it? No way! I couldn't have opened up furnace number 2 after I just finished working on furnace number 1. After I finish working on number 1, it takes 1 hour to begin working on furnace number 2. Is this why you think Foreman Tang pulled the lever himself? I don't know, but it could only have been him, right? Throughout this process, did you see Foreman Tang? Nope. I didn't see him at all. Naturally, I only knew what happened after I heard Old Chow and the others talking about the incident. Wasn't Old Chow one of the workers who witnessed the incident? Yeah, I heard him say that Ting appeared next to the molten steel outlet out of thin air. Everyone's guessing it was the 5 ghost teleportation magic. All in all, a strange business, I tell ya. Why is this door locked? That door is for the transportation of materials, and the elevator is on the other side. This door is usually locked, only opens when we're transporting minerals. When's the last time minerals were transported up here? Let me think. Would have been 2 days ago. Is this fuel that is piled up here? This is bulk material. Mostly lime and fluoride and the sort. So you need lime to make steel. Yep, bulk materials are used to separate impurities from the molten steel.
Huh?
Huh? How come there's a big sheet of tarpaulin here? So they keep steel scraps prepared for smelting piled. They keep steel scraps prepared for smelting piled under here. It's well protected. Can steel scraps be used as raw material? These steel scraps are already quite rusty. That's the advantage of open hearth process. Steel scraps can be used as raw materials. Foreman Tang got what he deserved. No one likes him anyway. Interesting. Sheng. Old Li said he didn't see Ting. Could it be that Foreman Ting was deliberately avoiding him? That is possible. Even so, why would Foreman Ting do that? We know very little about the deceased at the moment, so it's too soon to judge. We also cannot rule out the possibility that Old Li is withholding information from us. Sheng, let's go interview workers in the ironworks. Old Li said that Foreman Ting's death is related to the shrine in the office. I wonder what the shrine actually looks like. We will know once we see for ourselves.
Huh?
Sheng, could it be that someone orchestrated this accident? You mean someone deliberately loosened the railing? When Foreman Ting leaned upon it, the railing came off and fell into the ladle along with him? Exactly! That does seem practicable. However, how did that person convince Ting to lean against the railing after the shutter was open? Yeah, when the shutter was open, the area nearby was very hot. The railings were scalding too. No hurry to conclude. We should investigate all the places that can be looked into first. Hello, Sunshine! After something like this, our wages are being paid early. Supervisor Ho, how about... Woo, keep your mouth shut. Just take the money and go. Sounds good, Sunshine.
Huh?
I don't think I've seen this young man before. We're not here to get paid. We're here to investigate the case. Ho Shu-heng, this is Mr. Sheng and his assistant Afu. They are here to investigate the matter of Foreman Ting's falling incident. I see. It is a pleasure to meet you. I almost forgot this important matter. Ho Shu-heng, please make a deposit for Mr. Sheng. Your Honor, I cannot accept this for nothing. Mr. Sheng, I will reward you properly after you find out exactly what happened. Well, you need not refuse, Mr. Sheng. The sooner everything is cleared, the less damage to the ironworks we'll have to sustain. Sheng, it seems if we don't accept the money, Mr. Deputy Administrator can't be at ease. All right. If you have anything to ask me, I will gladly tell you everything I know. What are your duties, Mr. Ho? I'm the supervisor of funds. All things related to money here fall under my responsibility, such as bookkeeping, managing bills, as well as the purchase of goods and materials. And paying wages? You're a smart cookie, young boy, but I'm not the one who's in charge of paying the wages. Usually, the workers' wages are paid by the foreman directly, but that's why I'm doing it. I just heard from the workers that the wages for this month are being paid earlier than usual. Indeed, Mr. Li has instructed me to do so, hoping that will calm everyone down. You two probably don't know that the Siemens Martin furnace in this incident was very expensive. After the incident, people on the factory floor were terrified, causing production to stagnate. For each day the furnace is not in operation, thousands of silver coins will be lost. No wonder Mr. Deputy Administrator seems so anxious. How is your relationship with Foreman Ting, Mr. Ho? My daily work is intersected with Foreman Ting's, so I guess we were quite familiar. What kind of person was Foreman Ting? He treated people a bit harshly, so he was not very popular among the workers. However, I know that he was just too obsessed with studying metallurgy. Obsessed with what he loved? I totally get him. I heard he had the habit of worshipping a statue. Do you know where it started, Mr. Ho? If you're asking about the statue, it's a long story. The qualities of our steel products was not stable, so we didn't have a steady flow of funds. Mr. Shen imported a German Siemens Martin furnace and ordered Mr. Lee to improve quality. We thought the problem would be solved, but our steel rails still have quality defects. Mr. Lee placed the burden on Foreman Ting. Ting made a pledge, promising he would get the job done. So that's when Mr. Ting began worshipping the gods? That statue was originally inquired by Mr. Lee. It was meant to be a symbol of luck. Who would have thought Foreman Ting would become obsessed with worshipping the gods? He often closed himself off inside all day long. He became unusually thin and pale with a withered face. He kept on mumbling strange things. Oh! Well, it's time for a quick commercial break. Just a moment, Bean. What did he say? I don't quite remember. Something about Chinese teachings and Western teachings. Chinese tradition values for foundation, Western ideology for practical use. That's it. He said to make steel in Hanyang, do as the ancient Hangyangers do. Ooh, well, I don't get that at all. I regret I haven't paid more attention. Otherwise, none of this would have... Alright. We will ask about the incident right after we come back from feeding the bean. Whoops. Were you present when the incident occurred, Mr. Ho? I was checking inventory and only heard a bang. When I got there, the fire had been put out. I didn't know until after that it was... Mr. Ho, when and where was the last time you saw Foreman Ting? I ran into him yesterday evening, right around here. It was almost payday, so I was busy verifying the account book. I went to double check the workers' attendance with Foreman Ting. Oops. But when I met up with Foreman Ting, he still appeared absent-minded. He didn't respond when I called out to him. He walked into the office and locked himself inside. Everyone knows that he locks the door when he's worshipping the gods. When you saw him yesterday, was there anything else unusual about him? Nothing else, no. Oh, I do remember a small detail, though I don't know if it counts. When I ran into him yesterday, he was wearing a headcloth. I've never seen him wear one before. He doesn't usually wear a headcloth? He thinks it's stuffy, so he rarely wears one. This detail deserves attention. I wrote it down, Shen! If you have anything to ask me, I will gladly tell you everything I know. These headphones are so uncomfortable. But my other headphones fully died yesterday. Now they only last like maybe 40 minutes. I'm like, that's not gonna last me long enough. The incident is a serious matter. If there's anything you want to know, Mr. Shen, just ask. Mr. Deputy Administrator, tell us more about Foreman Ting. Foreman Ting began working at this ironworks when it was founded. He learned chemistry and steelmaking, also spent his time in the laboratory. For the past 6 months, he has been transferred to the factory floor to work as a foreman. Although he was somewhat tough and stubborn, he's always been keen on studying steelmaking. Recently, we imported the most advanced Siemens Martin furnace from Germany. He had been researching on new method of open hearth steelmaking, but he hadn't found the knack for it yet, and the quality of the last batch was less than ideal. Mr. Lee, I hear that there was something wrong with the quality of the steel rails? It's hard to explain. I heard the hardest part of steelmaking is removing the phosphorus. Fragmentation easily appears in steel with high phosphorus content. Was this the type of problem you were facing? Seems like a Fu knows the ropes. Indeed. Due to some reasons, the high-quality ores from Day were transported to Japan. We only got lower-grade ones. The Bessemer converter we originally had can't remove phosphorus effectively. So we spent a large sum of money to import the Siemens Martin furnace from Germany. Really takes the painstaking effort of everyone to make good steel. It's only natural that we treat industry prosperity as our duty. Mr. Deputy Administrator, where were you when the incident occurred? I was busy entertaining a guest, so I wasn't on the furnace factory floor. When I got there, the fire had already been put out. Fortunately, no further damage was caused. Although the fire was put out, terrifying rumors began to spread. The workers refused to work. I hope that Mr. Shen is able to uncover the truth as soon as possible. roar of these machines is deafening. Shen, this is the sound of the industry's heartbeat. Fair enough, buddy. Why did Mr. Lee make us cast these ingots? Shh. Shh, keep your mouth shut. Someone's coming. Are these ingots made from the furnace that Foreman Ting fell into? That's right. You gentlemen should stay away from these kind of unlucky things. Oh no. So these I hope this was not with the metal that he was in. I guess it is. Somebody's gonna have some haunted ass steel beams. Hello, Pocket Cow! It'll be difficult to deal with later on if the molten steel cools down inside the ladle. Even so, we can't use these! The blood and bones of Foreman Ting are in here! Just thinking about it gives me the creeps. So you missed the entire chapter that explained Shen's backstory. So that's a bit unfortunate for you. The mini chapter of, if you remember last episode, we ended on the cliffhanger of Shen was about to explain to Afu what, like, his big mystery that he was looking for. So that happened. Then we got called to the steelworks here because someone fell into the steelsmithing ladle under vaguely mysterious circumstances. Now that I think about it, there is a reoccurring theme of what we're investigating, isn't there? So the first case we... investigated, we were... I mean, I guess not quite. We were blamed for the death of that author, but the original plan was to make the author make it look like a suicide. And then the backstory thing is also Shen being convinced that a death that the police are dubbing a suicide is not a suicide. And then now, ostensibly, the man fell into the steelworks, but he appeared as if a ghost is suddenly at the steelworks, so now the people think that there's some sort of bad vibes in the steelworks. But surely we're gonna learn that he didn't just, you know, throw himself into it. So it's kind of a lot of not suicide cases. The human body is mainly composed of water and carbon. His density is less than molten steel. His body wouldn't sink into the molten steel. It would float on the surface and flow into the tank. So, in essence, these are just ordinary steel ingots. Fair enough, Afu, but I know logically he's right, and it's just steel, and it's fine. But I'm kind of with the workers. There's something creepy about it. And I know, logically, it's just steel. And yet, I feel like even very logical people would be like, can you give me a discount on the corpse steel? Something about it is off. Do you think his soul could be in these ingots? Ah, woo! Keep your mouth shut. It's time to get back to work. But Master, I'm afraid the shrine will unleash its powers again. Please wait. You just mentioned the shrine unleashing its powers. What did you mean by that? What shrine? You must be deaf and heard me wrong. Shen and I both heard you. You definitely said it just now. Misters, that shrine, it's taboo. We are entrusted by a deputy administrator to investigate the case of the falling incident. If you don't cooperate, you might be convicted of obstruction of justice. If it was grumpy. Please don't be angry, mister. We'll talk. We'll talk. About a month ago, Awu and Foreman Ting had a little argument. Awu, young and candid, kicked the shrine. The statue fell. He said some words of disrespect. Then the shrine unleashed its powers? Well, yeah. There was smoke coming out of the shrine, and there was a gunpowder smell in the air. My head started throbbing, and I couldn't breathe, but I wanted to cough, so I almost fainted. This is giving me... like, my man was getting... like, some kind of a... maybe not like lead poisoning, but something along that lines of, like, he was getting... like, the shrine was literally making the foreman sick. And that's why he was acting weird and, like, dizzy and out of it, and that's why, like, it just legitimately made him sick, because something was in it. Then what happened? Ting said that Awu had offended the god of fire, then he kicked everyone out of the room. That very night, Awu got sick and lost his voice. I had nightmares. Whenever I closed my eyes, I saw the statues staring at me. I'm specifically thinking of another mystery game where the black smoke was giving everybody, like, nightmares and stuff. Because it was like a type of sickness that basically gives you nightmares. I don't want to say which one, just because it's one of my favorites and I think everyone should have a chance to play it. If the foreman hadn't begged the gods for forgiveness on Awud's behalf, eventually, I'm afraid he wouldn't be able to speak now. Could you... Mister, please forgive us, but we really can't say any more. Awu, we should get back to work. Well then. Mr. Patrolman, why is the store locked? What does that have to do with you? Sir, we are entrusted by Deputy Administrator Lee to investigate the Foreman Ting case. Oh, so it's Mr. Detective. Then of course I have to help you out. However, this room is impure.
Huh?
Impure? Everyone knows deep down how Foreman Ting died. Beware of the shrine in that room. We're not scared. Let us have a look. Thank you for your troubles, sir. Mr. Patrolman, why haven't you opened the door yet? It really stresses me out having to help you open these doors. We need to complete investigations today, so we're short on time? Oh my. Thinking about opening these doors is making my head ache. Could I ask for your help? How can we help? I just heard a crisp, pleasant sound ringing out from you two. Could you lend me a hand to refresh my memory? Oh, for goodness sakes. Just a minute, sir. I'm gonna think about stuff first. Shen, from the state of those two workers, they don't appear to be lying.
Huh?
Could it be that the shrine really unleashed its powers? Afu, do you know of any gas that smells of gunpowder and could harm the respiratory tract? So you think there was something off about the smoke, Shen? The smell of gunpowder usually appears after a firecracker is set off. The firearms made in Hanyang are quite famous, though. Afu, gunpowder doesn't cause hoarseness of the voice, does it? Generally, it doesn't. Shen, how about I give the shrine a kick as well? There's no harm in trying. I prefer not to. What if there actually was a god? Shen, does wearing a headcloth even count as being suspicious? Wearing a headcloth in ironworks not only prevents burns, it also reduces water loss. People do not make a change of habits lightly, not unless there's a particular reason. Well, I guess we gotta bribe this fucker. Whoa, wow. I feel like we should just walk 5 feet over here and tell him to tell his guy to open the door, but fine, whatever, we'll bribe him. Yeah. Hafu, hand it over to him. The sound is so enlightening to me.
先生，这尊神像虽然平平无奇，但在听了那些流言后，再看它。
Yep. We paid him. Shen, although this is an ordinary statue, after hearing all those rumors,
竟然莫名有点瘆得慌。
Looking at it gives me chills.
就好像干将爷爷和莫爷奶奶在看着我一样。
It's almost as if Grandpa Gangzhang and Grandma Moye are watching me.
谁允许你们随便进来的？
Who allowed you to just come in here?
谁在说话？
Who said that?
你说呢？
Who do you think?
难道是我爷奶奶？
Is that Grandma Moye? Probably not, Afu, but I appreciate your
姑娘，
candor.
不必再装神弄鬼了。
Young lady, please stop playing tricks.
谁装神弄鬼了？
Who's playing tricks?
哼，若不是想捉弄人，为什么不开灯？
If you weren't trying to tease people, why are the lights off?
我刚调查完这里就要离开，是你们自己硬闯进来的。
I just finished investigating and was about to leave. You were the ones that came in unexpectedly.
怎么，小弟弟，你被吓到了？
What's wrong? Were you scared, kiddo?
才没有呢！
No, I wasn't.
没被吓到的话，你叫谁奶奶呢？
Girl, you do you, but like, let's not pretend here. You were trying to trick him. Oh, really? Then who did you just call Grandma?
先生，我们开始调查吧。
Shen, let's begin investigating.
调查？调查什么？早上的坠楼事件吗？
Investigate? Investigate what? The falling incident this morning?
对啊，市里会办专门请我们来的哦。
Yep, Deputy Administrator Lee invited us here specifically.
什么？他答应给我独家的呀？你是哪个报的？
What? You promised you'd give me exclusive coverage. Which newspaper do you work for?
记者小姐误会了，在下沈仲平，是一名侦探。这位是我的助手阿福。
Percival, I'm back up here. Miss, this is a misunderstanding. I am Shen Changping, a detective. This is my assistant, Afu.
原来是查案的侦探啊！误会了，我是沪报的记者文可欣。
Oh, so you're detectives. I'm Wen Koshin, a journalist from the Shanghai News.
不过，在这个案子里，侦探先生已经没有什么表现机会了。
However, I don't think there's any chance for Mr. Detective to show off in this case anymore.
啊？
什么意思啊？
What do you mean?
我就要查明真相了，连明日的头条都拟好了。
I'm just about to uncover the truth. Even the headline for tomorrow's paper is drawn up.
独家揭秘：汉阳铁厂工人跳楼案件始末。
Exclusive coverage. The whole story of the falling incident at the Hanyang Iron Works.
既然如此，文小姐可愿分享你所掌握的线索？
In that case, would you be willing to share the clues that you possess, Miss Wang?
想从我这获得消息可以，但要拿对我有用的东西换。
It's fine if you want information, but you'll have to offer something useful to me in return.
我擅长格致学，先生擅长推理，这可以交换你的消息吗？
I'm an expert in science, and Shen is a skilled deduction. Is this enough?
格致学好，能帮我的文章补充些理论知识。
Physics is useful. It'll supply some theoretical knowledge from my articles. You can start asking me questions now. Miss Webb, why are you here at the Ironworks? The Ironworks has just won orders from the Yangtze Railway and the Canton Hankou Railway. However, its products were said to have quality problems. It's at the center of a storm. My journalist intuition tells me there is an opening for a story here. Former glory gone, Hanyang Ironworks endures hardship. a news report like this. The title alone already sounds interesting. Yet, I was halfway done with my draft when this happened. So now you're planning to write about Foreman Ting's falling incident. I'm sorry for what happened, but this is definitely a better story. What were you doing at the time of the incident, Miss Wang? When? I was originally planning to take some photos of the factory floor this morning. When I got to the factory floor, I ran into Mr. Lee. He wanted to show me the new metal mixer. Ah, so this is the guest that Mr. Lee said he was with. It wasn't long after we left the factory floor that we heard an explosion, and we hurried back. Miss Wen, did you arrange the rope barrier at the site of the incident? That's right. If the site is damaged in any way, the news report might be inaccurate. This measure was immensely helpful to the investigation. Well, of course. I'm a senior reporter. Miss Wen, what's the truth that you discovered? You want me to just give you the answers? You'll know soon enough. It's getting late. I still need to go to the metal casing platform to get my camera. Excuse me. Casting soon. Don't forget our promise. Shen, let's start investigating the site as well. We can't lose to Miss Wen. It's not a competition. It's only about the truth, not about winning or losing. I still don't like seeing her so pleased with herself. The shrine is dedicated to the statue of Yangtze, Zhang and Moye. The shrine is made of rosewood. It holds an incense burner and 2 candlesticks. A copper incense burner with 3 sticks of incense are placed vertically. The desk is clean, but the inkstone is covered with dust. It hasn't been used in a long time. Blueprints of the imported furnace are under the paperweight. Also, documents in a foreign language. Probably German. These papers are covered in handwritten notes. It seems like Foreman Tang put in a lot of work. Could a craftsman who studies technology and reads foreign documents be superstitious? It's hard to say. My idol, Mr. Newton, was a devout follower of theology in his old age. We should record the condition of the desk first. Code of practice. Rule number 1, leaving without permission during work hours is prohibited. Rule number 2, name badges must be hung on the board during working hours. Rule number 3, all materials used in production shall be managed by the foreman. Rule number 4, those who are absent from work will be fined 7 days in wages. Whew. If you forget to hang your name badge, it would count as skipping work. That is so strict. Shen, there's a Western wall clock here. The engravings say this was a gift from the Wuhan Chamber of Commerce for water transport. There's a board made of copper with several rows of hooks on it. Looks like workers need to hang their name badges on this board when they're on duty. Shen, this is the floor plan for the factory floor. The map looks quite new. It was probably put up not long ago. A working drawing of the open hearth furnace is pasted right beside it. Shen, Miss Wang mentioned going to the metal casting platform to get her camera back. Could it be that she caught something shocking on camera? I need to go to the metal casting platform to speak with those who witnessed the incident. Oops. Dismiss. Shen, the door is right outside these doors. The dock is. We will go out after finishing investigating this case. Oh, alright. I feel like we should investigate the shrine a bit more carefully, but... Judging by previous investigation, Foreman Tang was obsessed with steelmaking technology. Then again, all oddities are related to the shrine also indicate he was worshipping a statue. Maybe he was just too focused on achieving success. That's why he decided to go to extremes. Or perhaps the statue holds a different meaning for him. Shen, we'll reach the metal casting platform if we go up from here. I'm just checking if we have any new questions. Where am I supposed to be going? I have the wrong ladder. When he said from here, there must have been a different ladder that I didn't see. No. Could that be related to him? Shh, someone's coming. Why do people keep coming up here? I just shoot away a woman. Now 2 more guys show up? It's time for us to start casting ingots, so go back down right now. Ah, woo. It's the detectives. You have to speak more politely. Huh? Isn't that Ah Woo and his master? My apologies for disturbing you. I still have a few more questions to ask. You're too kind, mister. Just call me Old Chow. If there's anything you'd like to know, we'll definitely cooperate. What do the 2 of you think of Foreman Ting? You don't have any particular thoughts about the foreman? He got what he deserved. There's nothing more to say about it. Seems the 2 of you don't like Foreman Ting very much. From his point of view, anything anyone else did was always wrong. He just didn't like us. Ah Woo, there's no fault in the foreman having been strict with his demands. Everyone did as he said, but But the last batch of steel rails still got screwed up, didn't it? He was just picking holes. Were you two the ones who witnessed the process of Foreman Ting's falling incident this morning? Yes. If I could trouble you two, please tell me what you saw and heard at that time. This was the first trial production since the furnace was shut down and renovated. Just when we began casting, Wu suddenly said, "The foreman is watching us." There he was, standing next to the outlet. Molten steel was coming out, yet he didn't seem to mind the heat. Are you sure that the person you saw at the time was Foreman Ting? I'm sure. He was leaning on the railing at the time. He looked spiritless and he kept staring downwards. You did not notice Foreman Ting before this moment? No, he just appeared there out of the blue. The railings are super hot when molten steel is pouring out, but he didn't care at all. If he wasn't possessed by something, then what? Old chap, you mentioned, or you said earlier that when you saw Foreman Ting, molten steel was coming out. Did you see Foreman Ting or anyone else open the molten steel outlet shutter? No. When we began casting, both molten steel outlets were closed. I remember it clearly. I don't know who did it. It wasn't the time to open the shutter yet. And then I just watched as the railing that he was leaning on disappeared.
Huh?
Disappeared. You mean the railing broke off and fell into the molten steel along with him? No, it disappeared. Just vanished into thin air. I was watching the entire time. I didn't see anything else fall in. Old chap, did you also see the railing suddenly disappear? I didn't see it as vividly as Awu did, but the foreman was indeed leaning against the railing and then suddenly fell into the ladle. Then it exploded, and fire was everywhere. I looked again, he was no longer there, and there was no railing either. Did you notice anything unusual about him in this morning? He was wearing a headcloth he doesn't usually wear. Nothing else. Yeah, I saw it too. Gentlemen, we're about to start casting. Soon. Just go back down already. Don't be in our way. We should probably grab that camera. Feels like it's gonna get wrecked if it stays up. That camera could have evidence. We should grab it and not let it be right beside the molten steel. What are you two still doing here? Okay, I guess we'll just leave it. That film is definitely gonna melt though. Mr. Shen, Mr. Lee is waiting for you in the office. He said progress has been made in the case, so he's asking to meet up with you, Mr. Shen. I have finished the investigations. Time to discuss with the Deputy Administrator. We finished, did we? Shen, things seem to be getting stranger and stranger. We still haven't figured out how Foreman Tang appeared out of thin air. 2 more oddities: the disappearing rail and the sudden opening of the shutter. Even if Formanting was able to avoid Old Lee, it would be quite difficult for him to be unseen by Old Chow and Ah Wu. How exactly could this have been achieved? Well, it's probably time to...
本记者已查明丁匠木坠炉一事始末，诸位不妨一起听听。
So now we're going to be doing the part, like in the last chapter, where we listen to everybody's accounts, and we sort of do the Phoenix Wright thing, where we piece things together by objecting and stuff. Well, we'll have to see how we do. I might actually make some mistakes this time, since last time I had already seen that chapter before. I can't remember how. I know I made at least one mistake the first time I played the thing, but I can't remember.
请说说你的发现吧。
Oh, did I read that out loud? Sorry. Miss Wang has already something about how Miss Wang has already made her discoveries about the case. Miss Wen, please tell us about your findings.
经过调查，我认为丁匠木之死非鬼神作祟，也并非意外事故，而是
Miss Tang's death wasn't caused by ghosts, nor was it an accident. It was actually
自杀。
suicide.
自杀？绝无可能！
Suicide? That's out of the question.
今日是马丁炉试产的紧要关头。
Today is the pivotal moment for the trial production of the Simon's Martin furnace.
丁匠木心系此事，绝不会在今日自杀。
Tang was engrossed in this affair. There's no way he would kill himself today of all days.
正因为今日重要，他才会选择在今日自杀。
It is precisely because of today's importance that he chose to commit suicide.
这是为何？
Why is that?
多年来，丁匠木一直痴迷于钻研炼钢技术。
All these years, Foreman Ting has been obsessed with studying steelmaking technology.
他提出的改进炼钢工艺改良之法，据说能大大降低钢铁的成本。
He proposed a method that was said to greatly reduce the cost of production.
汉阳铁厂的钢轨也因此广开销路，接连拿下大额订单。
As a result, Hanyang Iron Works began to receive large orders for steel rails.
在关键时刻，钢轨却爆出了严重的质量问题，丁匠木难辞其咎。
However, at this crucial moment, severe quality problems with the steel rails were exposed.
其实，这事也不能全怪老丁，
Ting shouldn't have carried all the blame.
主要还是所用焦炭的含磷量太高。
It was mainly used in the high phosphorus content in the coke that was used.
为解决问题，丁匠木提出再次改进工艺，并在理会班面前立下了军令状。
To solve this problem, he made the pledge to improve the technique once more.
不料，接连几次试产都失败了。
However, each and every trial production ended in failure.
绝望的他，只能将希望寄托于迷信传说。
In desperation, he had no choice but to turn to superstition and legend.
所以，今早是一场策划过的自杀，或者说是献祭。
What happened this morning was actually a planned suicide, or more like a sacrifice.
这，难道真是本班给他的压力太大了？
That's... Could it be I put too much pressure on him?
悲喜，匠木血肉铸铁钢，民族工业路何方？
Tragic. Foreman melts body to iron and steel. National industry less than ideal.
这就是我下一篇报道的标题了。
This will be the next headline of my news report.
文小姐这么肯定丁匠木是自杀，可是掌握了什么证据？
Miss Wen, you seem absolutely sure Foreman Tang committed suicide. Do you have any evidence?
那当然，
Well, of course.
我在公事房的书桌上发现了丁匠木的绝笔信。
I found Foreman Ting's suicide note on the office desk.
等一下，等一下，
Wait. Hold it right there.
绝笔信在哪儿？我们怎么没看到过呀？
Where's the suicide note? How come we never saw it?
如此重要的新闻材料，当然得保护起来了。
Such precious news material would obviously need to be protected.
你怎么能私藏证物呢？
How could you hide evidence like that?
公事房里人多手杂，我担心线索遗失，才代为保管。
I was afraid this clue would be lost, so I took it for safekeeping.
怎么能算私藏呢？
How could that count as hiding evidence?
文小姐，可否将信件借我一看？
Miss Wen, would it be possible to let me take a look at this letter?
可以，这信也没什么特别的。
Sure, there's nothing special about it anyway.
多年以来，吾费心尽力，只求练得好钢。
For many years, I have given it my all to make good steel.
然而，无论尝试何种方法，均无法成功。
Nevertheless, all of my attempts and methods have ended in failure.
看来，吾当效法干将莫邪，以无身驯鹿。
It seems I should follow the example of Gan Zheng and Mo Ye.
如此，定能感动上苍。
Sacrificing myself to the furnace will surely move the hearts of the gods.
丁大风于平卢车间公事房绝笔。
The last words of Ting Tafeng, written in the office of the furnace factory floor.
先生，真的是一封绝笔信。
Shen, it really is a suicide note.
大人，上面的笔迹倒很像是老丁的。
Your Honor, the handwriting does look like Foreman Ting's.
文记者没有损坏证物吧？
Miss Wen, you didn't damage the evidence, did you?
怎么可能？我是原封不动将它收好的。
Of course not. I kept it exactly the way it was. But it couldn't have been written by him.
既然如此，许恒，你去草拟一份公告。
Under these circumstances, Shang, go and draft an announcement.
通告事件始末，以平息流言。
Announce the whole story of the incident and quell the rumors.
且慢，
Objection!
这封信有问题。
Something is questionable about this letter.
这封信很普通啊，有什么问题？
This is just an ordinary letter. What is wrong with it?
信中的细节之处与已有的证据相冲突，难以一语概括。
There's a detail in this letter that conflicts with the existing evidence.
文小姐，我会一句一句的回顾这封绝笔信上的内容，对有问题的句子提出质疑。
Miss Wen, I shall review the letter one sentence at a time and question the problematic ones.
然后将有疑问的内容与收集到的证物进行比对。
Then I shall compare the questionable content with the evidence we have already collected.
如果找到了与绝笔信内容 有矛盾的证物，我会出示给你看。
This is basically just re-reminding me how this minigame works. If I'm able to find evidence that contradicts the content of the letter, I shall present it to you.
好啊，那就开始吧。
Alright, go on then.
多年以来，吾费心尽力，只求练得好钢。
Has anyone realized the sentence that, or the reason why this letter doesn't make sense?
无论尝试何种方法，均无法成功。
I don't know the whole answer to the whole mystery yet, but I did realize while listening to the letter what's wrong with the letter specifically.
看来，吾当效法干将莫邪，以无身驯卢。如此，定能感动上苍。丁大风于平卢车间公事房绝笔。
The inkstone we found on the desk was very dusty. It had not been used in a long time. And this is written with that type of ink.
文小姐认为，丁教母是在公事房何处写下的这封绝笔信？
Does Miss Wen believe that Foreman Teng wrote this suicide note in the office?
这封信是用毛笔写的，自然是在公事房的书桌上。
This letter was written with a calligraphy brush. Yep. It was written in the desk at the office.
那你可曾注意到公事房书桌上的砚台？
Then have you paid attention to the inkstone on the office desk?
砚台。
Inkstone?
这封绝笔信确实是用毛笔所写。
The suicide note is indeed written with a calligraphy brush.
信的落款也提到于公事房绝笔。
It also mentions written in the office at the end.
可公事房中仅有的砚台上，墨迹已经干裂，还积了一层灰。
However, the only inkstone in the office is dry and has accumulated a layer of dust.
显然许久未被使用。
Evidently, it has not been used in a long time.
这两者之间存在明显的矛盾。这封信不是在公事房写的。
There is an evident contradiction. This letter could not have been written at the office.
铁厂本就多灰尘，就算有积灰也很正常。
Ironworks are always dusty. It's normal for dust to accumulate.
但桌面上并没有多少灰尘，那座神龛更是一尘不染。
Yet there is barely any dust on the desk. Not to mention the shrine is completely spotless.
可见，只有砚台许久未用。
Thus, it is clear that only the inkstone has not been used in a long time.
这，
Well,
如果丁匠木随身携带了笔墨呢？
what if Foreman Ting carried a brush and ink around with him?
哪有人会随身携带砚台啊？这也太强词夺理了吧！
Who in the world would carry an inkstone around? You're being unreasonable.
难道侦探先生能否定这种可能吗？
Is Mr. Detective going to dismiss this possibility?
文小姐当然可以做此假设，
Miss Wen, you are welcome to make such an assumption.
但这封信上还有一处细节与落款所题相悖。
However, there is one detail on this letter that contradicts the signature. I can't read Chinese. I don't even know where the signature is on this sheet. What? Is this the signature or is this the signature? Does Chinese write? I know they write top to down, but is it top to down, left to right, or right to left? I think right to left. So I think this is the signature. Plus it's like spaced separately from the rest. So it feels like it's like the end of the letter. I don't... I feel like this sign looks out of place to me. But I don't even know what that word is. I don't want to use a hint, but I don't even know what he's looking for here. The paper itself? I can't look at my, like, other... yeah, I can't look at my other things or anything. Let me at least look. Well, hold on. I don't want to click off and have anyone think I'm looking up the answer. Can somebody check if Chinese writes right to left or left to right? So I can at least... I might just have to use a hint. Right to left, regular, left to right. Modern? Oh. That doesn't... So I'd have to be able to read it to know whether he's writing in modern or classic. That is unfortunate then. We might just have to use a hint, cause... I don't even know... I don't even know which part of this is the signature. Never mind the part that contradicts with the signature. What other place that contradicts with the signature? I'm scared to use... The only reason I'm scared to use a hint. I'm fine using hints. It's just that some games use the word hint very liberally. Like, I'm worried it's gonna be a hint and it's gonna be like, boy, this exact spot sure looks suspicious, you know what I mean? Let's try a hint and hope it's not too... Okay. The suicide note was written in the office. A certain mark would not be present. Okay, so there's... Oh! So when it says contradict, oh, I see. Ah, contradicts with the signature. It's folded. Is that? Am I pointing out the fold?
沈先生是说折痕有问题。
Mr. Shen, you're saying there's something wrong with the creases?
正是。
Precisely.
文小姐曾说，为防止证物被破坏，特意将信原封不动地收好。
Miss Wen said that she had specifically kept the letter as it was to prevent damaging evidence.
因此，这折痕并不是文小姐造成的，对吗？
Therefore, Miss Wen was not the one who caused these creases, correct?
没错，折痕不是我造成的。
That's right. I didn't make those creases.
你发现时，信被平摊在公事房的桌上，对吗？
When you discovered the letter, it was lying flat out on the surface of the office, correct?
是，到底有什么问题？
Yeah. What's the problem?
信纸有折痕，折叠信纸一般是为了方便携带。
There are creases on the letter. Usually a letter is folded, so it is more convenient to carry.
若信真的是丁将木自尽前在公事房写下的，
If this letter was truly written by Foreman Ting in the office before he committed suicide,
又何必要把它折起来，多此一举呢？
why would he go through the trouble of folding it?
也许信是在其他地方写的吧。
Maybe he wrote the letter somewhere else?
可信上明明写着“于平炉车间公事房绝笔”。
But the letter clearly states that it was written in the office of the furnace factory floor.
的确如此。
That's true.
难道这封绝笔信是伪造的？
Could it be that the suicide note was forged?
没错，有人想要掩盖丁将木死亡的真相。
That is correct. Someone is trying to cover up the truth of Foreman Ting's death.
什么？
What?
丁将木之死有何掩盖的必要？
What need is there to cover up Foreman Ting's death?
他跌进炉子时，工人们看得清清楚楚啊！
The workers clearly saw him jump into the furnace.
大人，会不会是目击的工人有所隐瞒呢？
Could it be possible that the workers who witnessed the incident are hiding something?
古训丁，去将事发时在场的工人都请来问话。
Who? Go and bring all the workers who were present at the time of the incident. For questioning. Yes, sir. So
侦
do
探
we
先
think
生
it was
关于绝笔
that
信的问
patrolman
题，你还没有完全说服我。
who seems to constantly have the smuggest look on his face known to man? I don't know why it would be him, but Mr. Detective, you still haven't completely convinced me about the problem with the suicide
我
note.
们谁都无法准确揣测一个人临终前的心境。
None of us can accurately predict the state of mind of a person right before their death.
丁将木为方便自己，而在其他地方写好信，然后放到公事房里让人发现，也是可能的。
It's also possible that Ting wrote the letter somewhere else and then left it in the office.
这个可能性虽低，但的确存在。
Although this is highly unlikely, the possibility does exist.
所谓孤证不立，此信还需结合其他证据，再做追究。
We should not make conclusions based on a single piece of evidence. Let's discuss it later.
那便将绝笔信之事暂押，先探讨其他疑点。
Then let's put the matter of the suicide note on hold and discuss the other doubts first.
好，
Fine.
大人，老赵和阿武到了。
Your Honor, Old Chow and Awu are here.
进来吧。
Come on in.
你们二人再将早晨的情形复述一遍，
不可遗漏任何细节。
The two of you need to recall the events of this morning once more. Don't omit any details.
一上午都说了很多次了。
We spent all morning saying the same thing a bunch of times.
阿武，好好回大人的话。
Awu, answer his honor's questions properly.
哦。
Oh.
当时我和师傅正在浇筑钢锭。
At the time, my master and I were in the middle of casting ingots.
浇着浇着，我突然看到了将木。当时他正倚在2号钢水口旁的栏杆上。
I suddenly saw the foreman Ting. He was resting against the railing next to outlet number 2.
阿武提醒我将木在对面时，我发现他身后的钢水闸也打开了。
When Awu informed me of what he saw, I noticed the shutter behind Foreman Ting was open.
将木出现的同时，闸门也开了。
So, the outlet shutter opened at the same time as the appearance of the foreman?
我想，应该是他自己打开的吧。
I think he probably opened it himself.
然后，过了不久，将木忽然扑了下去，紧接着，钢水包就炸了。
Seconds later, Ting suddenly dived forward. Right after that, the ladle exploded.
两人刚刚的说法中，存在一处隐蔽的矛盾，与这一件证据有关。
当时我和师傅正在浇筑钢锭。
Let's take a look at her. Okay.
浇着浇着，我突然看到了将木。当时他正倚在2号钢水口旁的栏杆上。
这个时候，我发现将木身后的钢水闸也开了，应该是他自己打开的吧。过了不久，
钢水闸不可能是丁将木自己打开的。
It was impossible for Foreman Ting to open the outlet shutter by himself.
现场绝不只有他一人。
He could not have been the only person on site.
为什么
Why not?
钢水闸的拉杆很长，若想拉开它，必须站在钢水槽的另一侧。
The lever is very long. To pull it, one must stand on the other side of the molten steel basin.
但是两位工人看到的，却是丁将木出现的同时，闸门也开了。
However, when they saw Ting, they also found the outlet shutter open.
这不是一个人能做到的。
This could not have been achieved by one person alone.
不一定是完全同时。
It might not have been completely simultaneous.
毕竟，我和阿武也不是一直盯着对面看。
After all, Awu and I weren't staring at the other side the entire time.
侦探先生，丁将木先拉开闸门，再快速走到钢水包前，不可以吗
Mr. Detective, couldn't Foreman Ting just pull open the shutter and sprint to the ladle?
不可行，因为现场存在此物。
No, we could not, because this was present on site.
我刚才说过，丁将木操作拉杆后，必须跨过钢水槽，才能走到坠炉的位置。
After Foreman Ting pulled the lever, he must have stepped over the basin to reach the falling spot.
可一旦钢水闸打开，
However, once the outlet shutter is opened,
槽中会注满1600度的钢水，人根本无法通过。
the basin will be filled with molten steel of 1600 Celsius degrees. A person could not possibly pass through.
想走到坠炉的位置，他就必须经过平炉背面的加料区，从另一侧绕过来。
To reach the spot he dived from, Ting had to pass through the charging area behind the furnaces.
这不是短时间内能做到的。
This could not be achieved in a short amount of time.
也许丁教木提早打开了钢水闸。
Perhaps Foreman Ting opened the outlet shutter beforehand.
只是碰巧老赵和阿武没看到呢。
And it was only a coincidence that old Chow and Awu didn't see him do it.
我留意过，这间闸门一直是关着的，不骗你。
The outlet shutter was closed the whole time before the incident. I'm not lying. Joking.
即使老赵和阿武可能会漏看，
Even if old Chow and Awu possibly missed seeing him.
丁匠木经过加料区时，还会遇到填料工老李。
When Ting passed through the refilling area, he was bound to run into the furnace charger, Old Lee.
可老李却对他的出现毫不知情，这又如何解释呢？
How do we explain the fact that Old Lee was completely oblivious to Ting's appearance?
难道是五鬼搬运？
Or did the five ghosts transport him?
是不是神像显灵了？
Did the shrine unleash its powers?
作祟的不是鬼神，
Ghosts and gods are not at work here.
是人心。
The will of a person is.
在丁教木坠楼的现场，一定还存在另一个人。
One other person must have been present at the scene of Foreman Ting's falling incident.
当丁教木倚靠在栏杆上时，是他拉开了闸门。
The moment Foreman Ting leaned against the railing, that person pulled open the outlet shutter.
等一等，
Wait a second.
炉子的正面有老赵和阿武看着，背面有老李在。
With Old Chow and Awu watching in front of the furnace, and Old Lee working in the back.
如果现场真的存在另一个人，他怎么可能不被人看到？
If there was really another person present on site, how could they possibly remain undetected?
只要利用这件证物，他就能巧妙地将自己隐藏起来。
By using this piece of evidence, they would be able to conceal themselves tactfully. I feel like it has to be the white powder, but I don't know why. It certainly can't be... Ooh. Or it's the ladle itself, because he was behind... The other person was behind the ladle? I think it's the ladle. Okay.
那人想要隐藏行踪，只要利用好钢水包即可。
If that person wanted to conceal their tracks, all they had to do was utilize the ladle.
我明白了，先生说的是视野盲区。
I got it. Shen is talking about a visual blind spot.
所谓盲区，是指视线不能到达的区域吗？
So-called blind spot. Does it refer to an area that cannot be seen?
没错，这个钢水包高2米，直径近1.5米，肯定会挡住老赵和阿武的部分视线。
Yes, this ladle is 2 meters tall and 1.5 meters in diameter. It would definitely block their vision.
可是，我和师傅浇筑时站在不同的位置。
But my master and I were standing in different places when we were casting.
浇筑时的分工也是一人作业，一人观察。我们俩中总会有一人看着对面的。
One of us will always be looking at the other side.
老赵，你和阿武作业时站在哪里？和钢水包的距离又如何？
Old Chow, where were you and Awu standing during the task? What was your distance from the ladle?
我平时站在钢水包左边， 阿武就站我旁边，我们都离钢水包比较近。
Usually, I stand on the left of the ladle. Ahu stands next to me. We're close to it.
我在浇筑平台上观察过二位工作。
I have observed the two of you working from the metal casting platform.
二位的视野经钢水包遮挡，都存在盲区，且两个盲区是有交集的。
Both of you have blind spots when you are working, and your blind spot intersects with each other.
那便是疑犯躲藏的地方。
That is where the suspect hid themselves.
可是我和师傅又不是只傻站着。
But my master and I don't just stand there.
钢水包一动，我们也会跟着走啊！一走不就看到他了吗？
When the ladle moves, we move along with it. Wouldn't we see them once we start walking?
你们一直跟着钢水包走，却看不到钢水包后的疑犯，是因为
The reason why you would not see the suspect is because
这很简单，他跟着钢水包一起移动，就能一直待在视野盲区中了。
It is quite simple. By moving alongside the ladle, they could continuously stay in the blind spot.
啊，
That's
没错，那人只要跟着钢水包走，确保自己看不见对面的工人就行了。
True. As long as they can't see the workers won't be able to see them.
因为光路是可逆的嘛。
Because the path of light is reversible.
真是有趣的方法。若是刊登在小说专栏里，读者们会津津乐道呢。
Interesting. If this was published in a novel or a column, I'm sure readers would be interested.
不过，侦探先生恐怕忘了，钉匠木坠炉时引发了爆炸。
However, I'm afraid Mr. Detective forgot that Ting's falling caused an explosion.
如果当时有人在2号炉前的平台上，不死也会身受重伤的吧？
If there was another person on the platform at the time, how could they survive?
可今日坠炉事件并未有其他人员伤亡。
Yet there were no other casualties in the falling incident today.
这又如何解释呢？
How do you explain that?
我想，疑犯或许可以在这里躲避。
I believe the suspect could have hidden here.
2号炉右侧的通道并没有被波及，他当时可在此处躲避。
The passage on the right side of the furnace number 2 was not affected. They could hide there.
经钢水包掩护，爆炸发生时，他的位置已经离通道不远。
Hidden behind the ladle, they were not far from the passage when the explosion occurred.
趁钉匠木的出现吸引了工人的注意，他躲进通道，顺利脱险。
Well, Ting's appearance caught the attention of the workers. They hid inside the passageway.
听起来，这个嫌犯不但熟悉炼钢的流程，还深谙人心呢。
Sounds like the suspect not only knows steel making, but also knows people well.
可这还是不对啊！
That still doesn't seem right.
阿武，老爷们说话哪轮得到你插嘴？
What right do you have to interrupt their conversation?
阿武，你觉得哪里还有问题？
Awu, what other problems are you aware of?
我明明看到匠木靠在栏杆上，栏杆突然消失了，才导致他翻下去的。
I clearly saw Ting leaning on the railing. He toppled over because it suddenly disappeared.
若不是神像显灵，栏杆怎会突然消失呢？
If the shrine didn't unleash its powers, how could the railing suddenly disappear?
弟弟，栏杆是不会凭空消失的，这个世界也不存在鬼神。
Railings won't disappear into thin air, kiddo. Ghosts don't exist in this world either.
可我明明看见了，我发誓。
But I saw it with my own eyes. I swear.
我也很确定，你看错了。
I am also 100% sure that you saw things incorrectly.
人在紧张或是害怕时，很容易出现记忆错乱。
It's easy for people's memories to get confused when they're nervous or afraid.
我没看错。
I didn't see incorrectly.
文记者为何如此确定阿武看错了？
Miss Wem, why are you so sure that Awu was mistaken?
昨天傍晚我拍照时，那里就没有栏杆了。
When I was taking photos yesterday evening, the railing was already missing.
晚上值夜班的只有填料工老李。
Oddly, the furnace charger was the only person on duty that night.
我问过他，他没去装过栏杆。
He claims he didn't install any railings.
不信的话，你看这张照片。
If you don't believe me, look at this photo.
先生，钢水包上方的栏杆果真是空的。
Shen, there really is no railing above the ladle.
可我明明看见他倚着栏杆。
I saw him leaning against the railing.
你呀，少当出头鸟。
Oh, I got it.
言多必有失啊。
I got it. I just got it. The railing he was leaning against was basically paper mache. He wasn't really like over or like was covered. It was no. It was made of like a sweet or like a bake. It was something that melts. It wasn't steel. It was just barely strong enough to kind of hold him while he was slightly leaning on it. But as soon as he opened the shutter, as soon as the other guy opened the shutter, it melted instantly. And that's what that pile of sweet stuff underneath it was. So it suddenly melted away, suddenly disappeared. Aha! Stop sticking your neck out. Too much talk is always a loss.
沈先生，若钢水包上方没有栏杆，说明丁教母是自己站在那里的。
Mr. Shen, if there wasn't a railing above the ladle, that means Ting stood there by himself.
工人们又很确定他的周围没有人。
The workers are also absolutely certain there wasn't anyone around him.
那他是怎么跌入钢水包中的呢？
Then how did he fall into the ladle?
所以我说他是自杀啊。
That's why I said it was suicide.
不过，结合侦探先生刚才的推论，或许有人在协助他自杀，也说不定啊。
However, combined with Mr. Detective's deduction, it's possible someone is helping him.
栏杆消失，丁教母坠楼，或许与这件任务有关。
The disappearance of the railing and Ting's falling may be connected to this.
这
Man,
是阿
if
福在
that
栏
didn't
杆附
just
近找到的粉末。
if that didn't just pop into my head, I would have had no idea what to click there. Because nothing has really indicated this. It was just an idea that popped into my head. This is the powder that Afu found near the railings.
这些粉末实际上是灰白色巧克力，还残留着刺鼻的味道。
The powder is actually grayish-white particles that have a lingering pungent smell.
这是某种物质烧焦后的残留。目前我们只在坠炉现场的栏杆附近找到过。
This is the residue of a burnt substance. We have only found it at the site of the incident.
这的确不是炼钢会用到的东西。
This indeed doesn't seem like something used in steel making.
我们怀疑疑犯在现场布置了某种机关装置，造成丁匠木坠落。
We believe that the suspect set up some kind of mechanism on site that caused Ting's falling.
真没想到，一个坠炉事故的背后竟如此复杂。
I never thought that the story behind the falling incident could be so complicated.
机关装置倒是个不错的新闻点。
The mechanism is quite newsworthy.
那到底是什么样的机关呢？
So what kind of mechanism was it exactly?
这个嘛，我们还需要再花时间研究一下。
Well, we still need time to investigate that.
自强运动期间，本办见识了不少西洋机器，新奇精巧，着实令人叹为观止。
I have seen a number of Western machines, strange and intricate things that left me in awe.
若真能还原机关，整件事倒是基本说通了。
If the mechanism you speak in can be restored, this whole incident will basically make sense.
却非鬼神作祟，而是机器使然呐。
Ghosts and gods were not at work here. Machinery caused it all.
但本办还有一点未想通。
However, there is still one thing I can't understand.
疑犯所需完成的一系列筹谋颇为复杂，且离不开丁将木的配合。
The series of plans was quite complicated and required the cooperation of one thing.
丁将木又为何会乖乖任人摆布呢？
Why would Foreman Ting be at the mercy of another? My gut told me number 3 for a moment, but that'd probably be rehashing old ideas. My gut told me number 3 for a moment, but I can't quite... Coercion would also make some sense, but...
那时的丁将木，恐怕已经。
I'm afraid that Foreman Ting at the time had already
凶多吉少了。
come to harm.
此话怎讲？
How is that so?
阿武说他看到丁将木时，丁将木正靠在栏杆上，直勾勾地看着下方。
Awu claimed he saw Foreman Ting leaning against the railing, staring directly downward.
栏杆温度很高，但他并不在乎，因为当时的他已经感觉不到烫了。
The railings were burning hot, but it did not matter to him because he could not feel anymore.
他的眼睛也不是在看下方，而是闭着。
His eyes were not looking down, but instead closed.
这也解释了为什么丁将木不是跳下去，而是扑下去的。
This also explains why Foreman Ting did not jump down, but instead dived forward.
因此，我怀疑这是一起凶案。
Therefore, I suspect this was a murder.
凶案？那眼下
Murder? Then...
大人，我们还需再做一轮补充调查。
Your Honor, We need to conduct another round of investigations.
目前虽已大致推断出了疑犯的作案手法，但仍还有很多疑团未解开。
Although we have a preliminary deduction of the suspect's MO, there are still many mysteries.
比如疑犯是如何离开现场的？
Like how the suspect left the scene?
还有疑犯的身份、作案动机，现在一点头绪都没有呢。
As well as the suspect's identity and their motive. We have no clue at all at the moment.
丁江母为人执拗，私下或得罪了不少人，
Ting is stubborn and has offended many people.
但他一心未偿，不该遭此不幸。
But he is a diligent man who shouldn't have suffered such misfortune.
只是眼下，铁厂一天也耽搁不起了。
At present, the ironworks can't afford to be delayed any further.
大人，凶案性质不同。
Your Honor, the nature of a homicide is different.
若歹人连环作案，对铁厂造成的损失不可估量。
If the villain commits more crimes, the ironworks will lose even more.
如果明早还没定论，可先起草公告压下舆论，再细细调查。
If there is no conclusion by tomorrow morning, you may draft an announcement to calm public
况
opinion.
且，我相信侦探先生一定会在明早之前查明真相。
Besides, I believe Mr. Detective will uncover the truth before tomorrow morning.
对吧，大侦探？
Isn't that right, Great Detective?
沈某尽力。
I will do my best.
那就依文小姐的建议来吧。
Then, let's act according to Miss Wen's suggestion.
先生，文小姐怎么又忽然帮我们说话了？
Shen, why is Miss Wen on our side all of a sudden?
她好像也完全不在意输给了先生。
She doesn't seem to mind that she lost to you either.
我听到了，小弟弟。
I heard that, kiddo.
谁要跟你比赛了？
Who said this was a competition?
对文小姐来说，更看重的应该是新闻。
The news should be more important to Miss Wen.
坠炉事故玄机藏，揭示阴谋侦探忙。这个标题怎么样呢？
How about this? Following incident shrouded with mystery, detective tries to uncover conspiracy. Okay. I'm gonna pause and go to the washroom. I
先
might...
生，我们接下来怎么办？
This is where not knowing how long... This would be a great place to break if there's gonna be a lot of chapter left. I think there might be. I'm gonna run to the washroom really quick while I decide, but I think this might just be where we break. Helps if I unpause. Okay. Answer text. I think I should probably... Okay, we're gonna pause here and we'll continue with what I presume to be the second half of Chapter 3. Next time. Yeah, oh, I didn't realize I wasn't showing. I was looking at my achievement lists to see if the other chapters had like a halfway through achievement, but not really. So, doesn't really help. Although I did apparently get an achievement for being super mysterious and, meticulous and picky about covering the entire letter. So... I think we'll call it a good time. Because we did the investigation and then talking to the people. I imagine we're going to do another, we're gonna do an investigation and then redo that kind of mini court scene. Now, I don't know if it's going to be as long, but that seems to be the pattern, but we'll have to see. But we'll continue it next Thursday with the second half of Chapter 3. But thank you guys for joining me. I hope you're liking this game. I'm really liking it, so I'm glad there's a lot of chapters left, or it seems like there's a lot of chapters left. Well, I guess we're almost half, right? Yeesh. I want way more game. That's not a bad thing. I will see you guys on... Actually, probably on Monday for painting. Will be most likely the case. But if not, then Thursday. Have a good night!